Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sarasota Film Festival. My name is Zara Barrie, and I am reporting live here at the Hollywood 20 Movie Theater, and I am so excited because I'm about to watch This Is Everything, the documentary about Gigi Gorgeous. Now, for those of you who don't know, Gigi Gorgeous is one of my favorite people in the entire world. She's a huge YouTube sensation. She is a huge activist in the LGBTQ community. The film is directed by Barbara Kopple, who's one of my favorite documentary filmmakers ever. So we're gonna go inside, we're gonna watch it, and then we're gonna talk to people afterwards and see what they think. All right, guys, I'll see you after the movie. What did you think of This Is Everything by Gigi Gorgeous?
I thought it was a fabulous movie, but the first thing I want to say is that I'm so proud of the Sarasota Film Festival, how they've embraced the LGBT community by having the films that they have this year. I'm very proud.
They really do.
And especially in this political climate, we all need all the help we can get.
Yes. As a parent, do you think you learned anything from watching Gigi Gorgeous and what she went through with her dad and her mom? What do you think, what was your perspective, I guess, as a parent seeing it?
Well, there were many wonderful aspects of the film, but the most important aspect to me was the love that the family had for Gigi. And I just hope that everybody who sees that film and has any child that has any gender problems, I wouldn't even call it a problem because they're the most beautiful people in the world. But, you know, I think that they can see that as long as that child has love, that child can do anything that they want to do.
I think this was a very positive example of when you give a child who is different by society, you show them love, look how they blossom. So I think that was beautiful. Anything that you learned from Gigi herself? How do you feel about her? Do you feel more empowered? Or?
I think she's an incredible person. I think what she achieved on the internet was just absolutely fantastic. And somebody brought up the question of her making money as if it was like a naughty thing. I think it's fabulous she's making a lot of money. Why the hell not?
Yeah, she's doing an amazing work by giving back to so many people.
Exactly.
All right, thank you.
I thought it was fantastic, very emotional, and I thought in the age that we're in today, where there's so much hatred among people, that it was so warm, and there's so much love, and that's what we need more everywhere in the world.
What do you think, just one last question, what do you think, when you were growing up, there was no YouTube, there was no social media, people didn't know about these other parts of the world. Do you feel like this is a really positive thing, or do you feel like this is a strange thing?
No, I think it's positive because I think that will help us get along with other people and let people that have hatred and prejudice understand another part of the world and how other people are.
I am honored and I am privileged to be with the opening act tonight. Right before the movie, we had this amazing performance from Shannon Fortner and Eduardo, what's his name?
Korea?
Eduardo Correa. Their band is called
Australis.
And Shannon, tell me a little bit about what you do in the community.
I am the founder and president of the Harvey Milk Festival, which is a local LGBTQ arts organization. And we create a political platform for our community to be heard and to honor Harvey Milk, the life and legacy that he left. I like to think of it as we as the community stepping into Harvey Milk's shoes to keep his legacy and life work alive.
Well, thank you for all you do in the community because it really makes a difference. Now, to talk a little bit about the movie, how did you feel about Gigi Gorgeous, This Is Everything?
She was gorgeous. Everything about her was gorgeous. I think it's really important for us to focus on the lives that she affected, especially through YouTube. 2017, the reach, that YouTube has and the impression that it has on our youth is so impactful. So I really, I cried a few times during the film, I won't lie. But I think it's really important to have people like her that are giving the youth support and helping them realize that their voices are being heard and getting that support. So I was blown. I thought it was a brilliant and moving documentary. So
yeah, I cried through the whole thing as well.
She is pretty fabulous, so I won't deny her that because she was fabulous, and a lot of people said she has a better start because she had the support from her family. But I really felt that it was really crucial about how the father, how it touched base about how the father felt and how important it was that he actually went during the procedures and was there and supporting. I think that's something that moving forward, we need to see a lot of families, parents do that for their children. So.
Actually, that was just my final question for you is what do you think that parents of LGBTQ kids could learn from this movie?
Just to listen to your children and see what makes them happy. It's not really about us or what we're used to. It's about what makes our children and the youth happy. So I think that's just the main focus is what keeps them happy and going, and stop being selfish and focused on what our brain is telling us instead of our hearts.
I am with the gorgeous and the fabulous Eduardo Anaya, who is a big LGBTQ face in the community.
Well, thank you,
Of
Ms. Zara
course,
Barrie.
of course, of course. Now, I want to know, what did you think of Gigi Gorgeous, This Is Everything, the documentary?
I thought it was everything. I thought
It was everything.
I thought it was everything. I thought it was genius how they take you through the livelihood of this person from a young age. I believe she was 12 when she started up till now. She's about to be 25, I think the filmmaker said. And to see somebody start at that young age at YouTube, and it's hard to put yourself out there. You know, even myself at 28, and even people who are older than me, it's hard to, first of all, find your own voice, and second of all, to have the guts to put it out there to the world to see and to judge. And obviously, you can tell it wasn't easy from the get-go, but I think all that pain really made her who she is, and I feel it's like a diamond. You know, the hardness kind of polishes you off. And she's still young, so there's more to see from her, I think.
There is. Now, one question is, so when you were growing up as a young kid, you didn't really have people like Gigi Gorgeous on the internet, or did you? I feel like we're a little
You're right.
older.
I think you're right, and I think that's the beauty of the film is the fact that you can see it from like when it first was hot.
Yeah.
When the first YouTube followers and the whole social media thing became a thing. I didn't actually. I mean, I'm from Mexico. Came to the States when I was 13. It's my culture where it's not looked up. There's not many people out there putting themselves on stage, and even in America, I don't think I really had. I mean, to this day, I think we're still breaking those barriers. We're still breaking that quote unquote glass ceiling. I don't know how to explain it, but that barrier of putting people like her in a place where you can look up and say, "Oh, I assimilate."
What do you think that documentaries that are this intimate and highlight such marginalized people do for the culture?
I think it gives a voice, and I think it makes you think that there's more than maybe what the struggle is. Because exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, to this day, I feel like I keep repeating myself. There's still a struggle, especially the trans part of our community, and so for people to be able to see this, not even if you're in the culture, but even if you're not, it's humanistic. You're seeing somebody go, and I think anybody can relate on that level. Even if you're not gay, even if you're not struggling per se, it's still human, and there's something to that.
I have this beautiful girl standing next to me. Please tell us your name.
My name's Tiana.
All right, Tiana. Now, what did you think of Gigi Gorgeous, This Is Everything?
I actually really loved it. What I appreciated about it the most was that being unapologetically you. You know? And I mean, at the end of the day, I think that we all need to recognize the fact that we have a platform and we need to utilize it. And as we kind of grow into it, I think that at the end of the day, using social media to create a story for yourself is important.
Yeah, what do you think of people using YouTube as a platform to save lives and empower people?
I think it's very important. As a person who's graduated from FIT, I feel like I didn't really have a platform, but I mean, as social media continuously evolves, I think it's important to kind of share your story.
What do you think you took away the most from the movie? What is your last feeling? It doesn't even have to be a lesson you learned, but how do you feel after watching it?
Being me is important. And I think that it's very important for everyone else to recognize that as well. I think that we kind of get pushed by society standards on being everything else but ourselves, but the reality is you need to be you, and you need to showcase it.
Totally.
Yeah.
I left that movie and I'm all of a sudden, I just I don't want to hold back. I just want to be
I
myself.
wanna be me, yeah.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
I go by Neff,
Nah.
and I am a political science person, and I'm in education, and I'm also a tennis player. And I really enjoyed perspective and just understanding how different worldviews shape the way that we look at different subjects. And I I thought it was great. I thought it was great to get the perspective of someone who was in a different socioeconomic class than I was. I do think that classism is an issue, and I would like to see that highlighted a little bit more in films like this, because I think that is a major factor in how well you're taken in by the rest of the world. But I definitely enjoyed the perspective.
All right, one quick question, because you said you're an educator.
Yeah.
What do you think, how do you think like YouTube has been for education and showing people different cultures and giving them sort of like insight into worlds they might have not seen before?
Yeah, I mean, I think social media is huge for us now. Everyone has a platform, and everyone has a voice that they've never had before. I can see what's going on in West Papua, all the way from Sarasota, Florida, and that's not something that I would have ever been able to see, even 5 years ago. So I think it's important, and I think the world's getting smaller, and I think it's harder now for people to be able to hide things under the rug. And when injustices are happening in the world, everyone's got a camera and everyone's got a voice. And that platform is very important for our growth as the human species.
I am with the Josh Beadle, who is the editor-in-chief of SarasotaOut.com, which helped put together the little pre-party we had before the movie, right?
Yeah, we did. We wanted to basically kick off the LGBT section of the film festival with this little party, and it was a really nice turnout.
And what do you think that movies like Gigi Gorgeous and having them at the Sarasota Film Festival, what do you think they do for that local LGBTQ culture?
Well, it gives us something to watch, one, and it gives not just the LGBT community, but also Sarasota as a whole, something to learn from. This is Everything Gigi Gorgeous was a great film that showed about the relationship between her and her family and how they kind of struggled with it, but at the same time were extremely open and loving and caring, and it really made me reflect on like my relationships with my family, and I wish that I could be a little bit more like Gigi Gorgeous.
So if there's one thing you could learn from Gigi Gorgeous, what do you think it is?
Lipstick before everything.
I loved that part. Lipstick before everything. We could get that as our friendship tattoo.
Seriously, I lived for that.
I loved it. Thank you so much, Josh. All right, everybody. As you can see, we were all so impacted by Gigi Gorgeous. It was such a beautiful film. Please, please, please go see it. I know that people like Gigi Gorgeous and documentaries like this are the very things that sometimes stop people from committing suicide, people who feel alone and they feel isolated. It gives marginalized people a platform and a voice. And also, I think it's an amazing thing for all parents to see, because it was such a beautiful, to me, it was really a story about family, and it was just such a beautiful example of if you love your kids unconditionally and let them be who they are, look how they blossom. So thank you so much. This was the perfect opening film for me to see at the Sarasota Film Festival. Love you guys, and I will see you back tomorrow.